One type of person that will always trigger narcissistic rage, and they do it effortlessly without putting any thought into it. When these two people come together, all kinds of hell can break loose. So we're going to talk about NPD versus ADHD. People with ADHD are not doing it on purpose. They're not even putting any thought to it. They're just trying to have a good time. They're living their life the best way that they know how. NPD people are doing the same thing. The only difference is NPD requires that attention and they require that order and that structure. And they demand that people follow them in order to feel alive. Now, the last core symptom of ADHD is that of hyperactivity. Hyperactivity. Now, this is a very, very difficult one for NPD as well. Hyperactivity means that they are very energetic. They're able to dart from one thing to another. So you will see people with ADHD typically dancing around, social butterflies, if you will, which right away takes attention away from the NPD person, right? The narcissist is not getting that attention. They're not the everything that they feel they should be to the person with ADHD, right? They feel neglected. They feel like their superiority is not being acknowledged. They're watching somebody with ADHD dance around, having fun with other people, or even on their own. It's very typical to see somebody with ADHD be perfectly self-content, out picking flowers and daisies, looking at the clouds. Ooh, that one looks like an airplane. That one looks like a teddy bear. Ooh, look at that bird. Oh, hey, there goes a dragonfly. And they're perfectly happy doing that because that's how their mind works. Very curious people. People with NPD, you're going to look at that and say, I can't stand that person. How can they be so self-contained? How can they be so happy on their own? Why are they not giving me attention? Why am I not the reason for their happiness? That's what somebody with NPD is going through. Again, they feel threatened because people with NPD, again, in order to prop up that all-powerful ego, they need to know that they are number one. They are the reason for somebody else's happiness. They are the reason for somebody else's excitement. Somebody with ADHD finds their excitement in their hyperactivity. They're out doing their own thing. That directly defies the pedestal that people with NPD stand on, and it sends them into rage. So you can see already how this dynamic at the best is a love-hate relationship. But in all honesty, these two personality types would have to maintain a relationship that is distant, coming together, perhaps occasionally to have a good time, but never intimate. Not without an extreme amount of work and understanding that people with NPD wouldn't be willing to go through. Lots of counseling, lots of therapy to get them to understand that they don't need to be number one all the time. They don't need to be the superior one all the time, and they need to let people go to experience life the way they want to experience life. Despite, and people with NPD have a very difficult time doing that. They really believe they know everything and they have all the answers, right? So it's very difficult. People with ADHD would have to have a lot of therapy and a lot of sessions to be able to calm themselves down and be able to pay attention, right? So it takes an awful lot of work. Otherwise, the only other option is to just be honest and understand who you are. Understand the personality type that you have. Understand people with narcissistic personality. Understand people with attention deficit disorder. Be able to say, this is who I am. Own it. Live by it. And manage that relationship. Manage the distance between it. Understand when you can come together and when you can't. Otherwise, it's just a volatile explosion that neither parties can really do a whole lot about, right? It's inevitable. It's inevitable that these two are going to just become destructive, right? If they spend long enough, it's going to become destructive, okay?